I assess the patient's gait as he's walking into the room. I'm going to provide privacy. Hello, I'm Daniel Pacino. I'm your student nurse today. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Daniel Pacino, and my date of birth is 9604.
Okay, and that matched the patient's records. Do you know where you are?
The doctor's office.
Do you know what year it is?
It's 2020.
The patient's oriented times 3. We already took their height and weight and vitals earlier. So today we're going to be doing a head-to-toe assessment. I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands. All right. All right, so now I'm going to inspect and palpate the hair and scalp. And his hair and scalp is fine. Now I'm going to inspect his sinuses. And his sinuses are fine. Now I'm going to check the the symmetry of his face for any stroke or anything odd. And his face is symmetrical. All right. So if I had a bowl of cinnamon, I would use for it to assess his taste, his cranial nerve 7. And now I'm going to palpate his temporal pulse. And his temporal pulse is fine. So I'm going to start evaluating his cranial nerve 2. And by that, I'm going to have him read a newspaper. Can you read what the first sentence of the newspaper says?
The apple is red.
All right. And now I'm going to assess his eyes. So, all right, they appear to be equal and round. They are a 3. And now I'm going to be checking the your cranial nerves 3, 4, and 6 by doing the 6 cardinals of gaze. All right. So can you follow this for me? All right. And without moving your head, move your eyes to follow this. All right. All right. So now I'm going to turn off the lights. And now I'm going to assess his reaction to light. All right, so his his pupils are equal, round, and reactive to light. All right, now I'm going to start inspecting his external ear. And there appears to be no abnormalities. And now I'm going to inspect his cranial nerve 8. So I'm going to do something what's called a whisper test. You're going to touch your trincus and you're going to rotate it. And I'm going to come up behind you. I'm going to say a number letter sequence, okay? And normally I would do this bilaterally, but for the sake of the video. 3, 5, 8. All right, what did I say?
3, 5A.
All right, so now I'm going to be assessing your cranial nerve 1, which is your nose and smelling. So I'm going to check if it's symmetrical, which it is. I'm going to be checking if the front is proper. I'm going to check the side. I'm going to be checking the patency of your nose. All right, so now I'm going to be doing what's called, I'm going to be doing the smelling test. I need you to occlude one of your nostrils. I'm going to need you to tell me what the scent is.
Seasoned salt.
All right, and can you occlude your other nostril?
Black pepper.
Yep. So now I'm gonna assess your cranial nerves 9, 10, and 12. So can you open your mouth for me? So I'm gonna be assessing your oral cavity, your mucous membranes, your tongue, your teeth. Can I see your teeth a bit more? Your tongue and your teeth. All right. And can you say ah?
Ah.
I'm gonna see if the uvula is midline, and it is the midline. I'm gonna see if the tongue is protruding the midline, which it is not. So now I'm gonna have you drink this to assess your gag reflex. Just open your mouth. All right. Gag reflex is intact. So now I'm going to be assessing your cranial nerve 5, starting with your T and J. I'm going to start palpating it. So I'm going to touch your face. Can you open your mouth? I'm assessing for any grinding or clicking. Now can you clench your jaw for me? All right, everything is intact. All right, so now I'm gonna do the assess your sharp and dull sensations. So can you close your eyes for me? Can you say yes every time you feel it?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Okay, again.
Yes. 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 Yes.
All right. Now I want you to, instead of saying yes, just let me know if it's sharp or dull. Okay.
Dull. Sharp. Dull. Sharp. Dull. Sharp.
All right. So now I'm going to be assessing his neck. So now I'm going to see if the trachea is midline, which it is. Now I'm going to be assessing. I'm going to be palpating his carotid pulse and making sure it's here. All right. And now I'm going to be assessing his cranial nerve 11, which is shrugging against resistance. So can you shrug for me? All right. I'm going to identify all of your lymph nodes, starting with occipital, preocular, postocular, submental, submandibular, tonsillar, anterior cervical, posterior cervical, supraclavicular. So I'm going to assess your thyroid glands by doing a thyroid assessment. So I'm going to have both fingers on the 2 rings. All right. And can you swallow for me? All right. They're both lifted equally. All right. So now I'm going. All right. And now with this hand. Okay. The thyroid gland seems to be intact. So I'm going to be showing how to do a self-breast exam. So first you're going to put your arms on your hips. You're going to look for any abnormalities. Then you're going to put your arms in the front of your hips. And you're going to look again. Then you're going to put your arms in the air and continue to look for any abnormalities. All right. So now you go onto a flat surface and lay down. Put one arm over your head. Use 3 fingers and circle around your breast, looking for any marbles, masses, or any abnormalities at all. And you're going to be doing this for both breasts. And then you have to, this is something that you're going to be doing monthly at the same day. And you're also going to palpate your axillary areas, because that's a common place for breast cancer. That's it. So now I'm going to be assessing your thorax. So I'm going to start by assessing your skin turgor. All right. And now I'm going to be inspecting and palpating your vertebra. And there's no abnormalities. That's it. I'm going to be assessing your S1 and S2 for your 4 valves. Your second intercostal space to your right, to the right, is the aortic valve. The second intercostal space to the left is the pulmonary valve. The third intercostal space to the left is Erb's point. The fourth intercostal space to the left is the tricuspid valve. The fifth intercostal space to the left is the mitral valve. And normally I would use the bell to look for murmurs and bruits, but for the sake of this exam, I will not. So I'm gonna assess the JVD. Normally I would have him at a 45-degree angle, but it appears that his JVD is intact. I'm gonna be assessing your lungs. So it is symmetrical, and the ratio, the AP ratio is 2 to 1. So now I'm gonna assess the tactile formitus. Now I want you to keep repeating 99.
99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99.
And I would also do this anteriorly, but for the sake of time, I will not. Performing the Allen test. Can you bulge your hand into a fist? All right. I'm going to occlude both of the radial and the ulnar pulse. All right. And can you let go of your fist? All right. So now I'm going to let go of the ulnar, and it should refill within 7 seconds. All right. And then I'm going to be checking your chest expansion and auscultating your respirations. All right. So can you breathe in for me? All right, out. In for me. All right. Now can you breathe in and out of your nose for me? All right. All right. Pause. Breathe in. Out your mouth. I'm going to start with assessing your nails and arms. All right. So your arms and nails seem to be fine. Okay. So I'm going to press on your nails and I'm going to look for kappa refill. That should be under 3 seconds. All right. It refilled. And now can you squeeze my fingers? All right. So it's even. So now I'm going to check his pulse. So I'm going to get his brachial, and I'm going to, once I find it, just for 1 minute. So now we're gonna do your deep tendon reflexes. So what I'm gonna do, can you have your hand out? All right, I'm gonna put my thumb on your brachial pulse. I'm gonna look for contractures, all right? And when I strike my thumb, I'm gonna be looking for a reflex. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do the patella reflex. So I'm gonna do this right under the patella. All right, with his feet dangling. All right. All right, so now I'm gonna be assessing the abdomen. So I'm checking for any type of weird like contoured shapes, different weird shapes or hernias. All right. So I'm gonna be auscultating the right lower quadrant. Then the right upper quadrant, the left upper quadrant, then the left lower quadrant. Now I'm gonna auscultate with my bell this instead for my vascular sounds. So now I'm gonna palpate for masses and tenderness. I'm gonna lightly palpate it. All right, now I'm gonna palpate for distended bladder. All right, so when was your last bowel movement?
Today.
Okay. All right, now I'm gonna be checking your general appearance. Your hair is distributed well. I don't see any drainage. Your general appearance looks good. I have some questions for you. Do you have descended testicles?
No.
Are you circumcised?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna educate you on a testicular exam. So the best time to do it is right after a warm shower. You're gonna put your thumb on one side of it and your fingers on the other side of the testicle. And then you're gonna feel for any large bumps or anything wrong. There's nowhere to feel anything at the back because that's where your epididymis is. And you should do this once a month. So how is your urinary habits?
My urine is light yellow and I pee daily.
Daily? Okay. All right. I'm gonna start examining the lower extremities. Now I'm gonna start by looking at the hair distribution, and I'm gonna be looking for edema, and there appears to be none. All right, so I'm gonna be doing the pulses. So I'm gonna start with the femoral pulse. All right, then the popliteal pulse. All right, then the dorsalis pedis. All right, and the posterior tibial. Okay, and I'm gonna do the muscle strength test. All right, so can you push against me? All right, now the opposite. All right, and now I'm gonna be assessing the skin. All right, and I basically been assessing the skin this whole time, and it's been well intact, and there's no growths or any abnormalities. That's it.